Give it a few minutes for some folks to get in here. We got one person watching right now. Don't know who you are. What's up, Brock? Thank you for being numero uno. Let's get some people in here. I'll get it started. We got three people watching now, so we're going ahead and get started. What's up, gang? Carolina Jackpot Time coming at you with a live show tonight. Rob Sanders he's not here. He let me know a little while ago that he would be unable to do the show tonight. So, what's up, Randall? We're just going to do it willy nilly tonight. Usually, we kind of collaborate before that. What's up, Cowboy John? Normally, I collaborate with him beforehand a little bit, kind of on what we're going to do. Well, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And he did not contact me tonight to collaborate, which made me think that maybe he wasn't going to be able to do it. So that's that. Where have I been? Did I deliver the box truck to Rob's house? No, sir. I went another way. Thank you for asking. What's up? Big Barney Ross, Spurs up. In the house. Sancho says, where you been? Sunday, this past Sunday, we couldn't do it because Rob Sanders took his son to the Darlington race, and I guess somebody broke down behind him getting out of the parking spot. I don't know. That's what he said. I mean, usually ain't there like behind you and behind that person there's like a clearing? I don't know. I don't think it's bullshit because he's never lied to me before. But and then the week last Wednesday night he had to do something for his work. They were having a St. Jude telethon with a lot of the radio stations um, that he helps manage or whatever. So we couldn't do it then. But here, my video taken down a few days ago. They asked, yeah, no, I got a little bit agitated and made a video kind of off the cuff, and then I thought better of it. So I just got rid of it because I didn't like some of the comments I was getting on it. So that was that. What's up, Taylor Made? But TriStar, thanks. Good to see you here once again. I haven't seen you in a while. He says, will South Carolina win the ACC this year? That's funny. TriStar, I responded to one of his clown takes today on Twitter. They ranked something. It was SEC quarterbacks ranked or something. I don't know what it was. TriStar, you remember? But it says, why is Texas A&M, Missouri, South Carolina, Texas, and Oklahoma on here? They are not SEC teams. Oh, and Arkansas. And I responded to him with that classic GIF of the goofy kid doing that number, and he said something back. Said, "Get off your ass and go deliver that box truck to Rob's house." Which I turned around and told him, I said, "I'll deliver my truck to your old lady's box." All in good fun, though. Anyway, what's up, SEC dog? So tonight I wanted to get into the SEC coaches rankings. As you know, when I go live, Rob has sent me StreamYard. He showed me how to set it up. He's explained to me at least 5 or 6 times how to use StreamYard, and it's not that I refuse to learn. I just can't. It's just a hard time learning it. What's up, Sir GGA? Ray Bob says big old hairy box. Absolutely. Jerry Wells, what's going on? I can't share the screens with you guys like I'd like to, and so I can't bring anybody on to talk or whatever. But I will just respond to comments in the comment section. Bearded Clam, kind of. Sort of like old, what's up, Ty on the Fly? Mark Rogers, they call him Monotone Mark, that dude that does the Locked On podcasts. He talks like this, kind of like this a little bit. Yeah, he's a few years ago. Like I was supposed to be on like a little collaboration with him. And we set it up on a Saturday night at 7 o'clock. And I think this is like 2021, if I'm not mistaken. But like Saturday night at 7 o'clock, I was sitting there and I was ready. Um, and he didn't show up. I mean, he didn't send me a link, didn't do anything. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So I sent him a message the next day. I said, hey, what happened to you yesterday? Then like a day or two later, response said, sorry, my mom got sick. So, okay. So the next Saturday, he set it up again to do it at 7 o'clock. Once again, swing and a miss. No Mark Rogers at 7 o'clock in my inbox. So I sent something back to him. I just said, dude, I'm like, just forget it. And he's like, what can I tell you? He's like, my mom got sick again. But I'll send you the link. And I'm like, no, never mind. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm sorry, I don't. So good luck with that. Anyway, that's my Mark Rogers thing there. So it's not that I don't like him. I mean, it's just that, I really thought he could get my content out there a little more. I thought he had a bigger following than what he really does. He really doesn't. Sir UGA, goddamn, how much are we going to talk about Skins hot dogs? Why do you keep talking about it? You're in Georgia, right? I mean, Skins hot dogs is not, it's not all that great. I've had that quite a few times growing up, but there is a place actually in Georgia, in Marietta, Georgia, that I wanted to go review hot dogs at called Brandy's Hot Dogs. I don't know if any of you Georgia type people have ever been there before, but apparently it's pretty decent. So let me know if you've ever heard of Brandy's Hot Dogs in Marietta, Georgia. Thank you, TaylorMade. VicTube, what's going on? The clown, I made a video. Jordan Dealmaker, yeah, it's in the description box below. I thought that I had put it in the description box, but I had not. So anyway, did Jordan Dealmaker get you in your feelers? No, he did not. I was laughing at him, but he tried. Bless his heart. So just looking at this coaching list that came out, this is CBS ranked the coaches 25-1, and then yesterday, yes, I am coming to Pennsylvania the last week in July, as a matter of fact, the 21st through the 27th. Looking forward to it. Braves down 5-0. Yeah, I wish I had bet that. I was going to. I was gonna. Bet the Cubs on the money line, and it was plus money because I just didn't think the Braves would win 3 in a row. I didn't think they were going to sweep them at home. It's set up too good, right? They shut them out 2 games in a row. I just didn't think they were going to do it. And plus, Charlie Morton's not the best pitcher on the Braves staff, exactly. So I thought, they might lose it, and I didn't bet it in time. So what's up, Joe D? TriStar says Kirby Smart, Kalen DeBoer, Mike Norvell, Brian Hubble, Josh, blah, 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 Brent Key, yada, yada, yada. SEC coaches list in that order. Brent Key is not an SEC coach. How you donate PayPal? You can just find me. Just look for Carolina Jackpot under PayPal, and you'll see my avatar. I think I'm actually upside down in the avatar. I don't know how that came out. Will Eubanks, did you see Dabo's comments about? Yes, I did. We're gonna get into that in a second. So this list, it was 25-1 they ranked, and then yesterday they had them like 68 through 24. So just want to look at this. Of course, number 1 is Kirby Smart. He was number 2 last year. It tells you what they were last year. What's up, Megan? Not a surprise there. Ryan Day is their number 2 ranked coach. And this is not just like one person that ranked these. All of their writers, personalities, podcasters, announcers, whatever, contributed to this. What's up, Zona Tucson? They've got Dabo at 3. I don't agree with that. Stayed at number 3, which is where, but the spot feels tenuous. Had Nick Saban and Jim Harbaugh stuck around, he probably would. These are not my words. This is what they're saying here. That he would not be in the top 3. I don't think he should be in the top 3 because he refuses to use the transfer portal. Post my PayPal link. I'll try. I will. But thank you. You can't find it. I'll try to post it in this chat. Thank you for the super chat, Ray Bob. Get a few gas station dogs. Appreciate you. Brian Kelly is number 4. I don't have a problem with that. Steve Sarkeesian at number 5. He actually is up 32 spots. He was number 37 in 2023. Sark at number 5. Kyle Whittingham comes at number 6. Don't have a problem with that. Maybe there are some flashier names. We all say, well, he's done so much with less, yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, he never been to the playoffs. I get it. I mean, I think he's top 15. But number 6, I don't know about that. Kalen DeBoer at number 7. He was 31 last year, so he made a huge jump now. I mean, I think that's, he has had a really good body of work, but it's been a very small body of work. Yeah, and Dabo at the ACC, the spring football conference, made some kind of statement when this girl from the ACC network was interviewing him in that not using the transfer portal. He said, well, we do. He said, we have players transfer in from high school all the time. He said he goes around to his position coaches and asks them, what's up, Matthew? Do you need anybody? No, we're good. I got two coming in from high school that I like. And all this blue bot feel good shit. Here's my thing. Do you think these other head coaches look at Dabo as kind of a damn I don't know, what do you call that cheese that comes from under a foreskin? They look at him as that because they work harder than he does, in my opinion, because they have to cultivate the transfer portal. He doesn't cultivate the transfer portal at all. I'm sure that's excruciatingly hard work. I mean, he's down vacationing, a goober, yeah. He's down there, vacationing Fremunda cheese. I can see Dabo down in the tropics somewhere on some island, sipping on a mixed drink and eating Fremunda cheese while all these other coaches are doing the transfer portal. Feinbaum hates Dabo. I know he does. SEC Dog says Dabo thinks Tater fans are the dumbest fans, and he's correct on that. I agree. He's just cashing the Tater check now. They love that. They do. They love him. Got Mike Norvell at number 8. He's up quite a bit from number 19. He was a pretty good coach at Memphis in the American Athletic Conference where he got to Florida State. So, people might not like my take on this, but I think that he might deserve to be a little bit lower than that. And this is what I based it on. Yes, he had a great season last year. Yes, he hits home runs in the transfer portal. Yes, I think he's doing well in recruiting. But I don't like the way that he let all his players lay out of that game last year, that bowl game. I think that he should have done a little bit more to keep things at an upward trajectory there. They should have. I remember in 1990, and it's on the film about the U, the first one, not the second one, the 30 about the U. Well, in 1990, they were preseason ranked number 1, supposed to win a national championship, yada, yada, all that good shit that they normally used to do. Well, they lost to Florida State early in the season, and they finished up 10-1. Were not a participant in the national championship game. Well, they felt like they were better than Florida State just on that day. Florida State happened to beat them. So what they do? They had to go to the Cotton Bowl and play Texas. They didn't want to be in the Cotton Bowl, and instead of quitting and being a bunch of bitches and not playing the Cotton Bowl, what did they do? They just said, we're the biggest ding-a-ling in town. We're going to get off this bus and we're going to kick your ass. And then we're going to get back on the bus and we're going to laugh about it. And that's exactly what they did. They beat Texas like 55-3 in the Cotton Bowl. It was horrible. And if you remember, there's an image of their wide receiver, Randall Hill, scoring a touchdown, cashing a touchdown pass. And he goes up the tunnel in the Cotton Bowl and he comes back out firing the 6-shooters. Crazy stuff. Matthew, thank you for super chat. Megan, thank you for the super chat. Dat boy is clown level Octavian. Very good, sir. I did see where he had Bud Elliott ranked Riley so low, based on he didn't have a good last season. Last season wasn't good at USC. Well, I mean, the Pac-12 overachieved last year. And then the year before, I mean, he had a really good season with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams won the Heisman Trophy. He got hurt in the Pac-12 championship game. So they couldn't, or they did not make the college football playoff, but they would have. Tyler said, what many comes to, yeah, that's true. Hey, Jackpot, when was the last time y'all had game day? I don't know. Probably the last time I washed the back of my nuts. I'm pretty sure that it was in Charlotte last year for the North Carolina-South Carolina game. So there you go. You just clowned yourself. You just clowned yourself, sir. You were trying to clown me. You just clowned yourself. Go take a lap. Rob has SEC bias. Love the stream so far. Jackpot, do you think we see Dylan Stewart get big time? Maybe not immediately, but I think he'll play a lot in that ODU game. I think he needs to. What do I think about Nicholas Harbor? I mean, I think if he works as hard at football as he does on track, I think that he's going to work his ass off this summer and he's going to turn some heads this fall. Am I back on the truck? Yes. What's up, Octavian? I don't know if y'all saw a video yesterday, but they were talking in the Spurs Up show, not the Spurs Up show, the BigSpur.com about that guy Jared Brown from Coastal Carolina, and they said Beamer said he's really good, but we need to work on he needs to work on his hand work a little bit. And I'm like, okay, so we have a wide receiver that can't catch the ball. That's wonderful. Wow. Number 9 is Dan Lanning. Number 10, they have Lincoln Riley. This is the composite. So Bud Elliott's, I guess, ranking was not shared by everybody else. James Franklin at number 11 at Penn State. I like James Franklin. He should be higher on this list, but at number 11, you cannot. Lance Leopold at number 12. That's a fair ranking. You could make an argument for him being higher, given that he's won a lot more with a lot less. I mean, he had a heck of a run there at Buffalo. He about 5 years there, and they were either conference champs or in the mix for winning that conference, the MAC, every year. So Lance Leopold, Chris Kleiman at Kansas State. Number 13, they had him ranked at 12 last year. I feel like he's kind of, I still think he's kind of underrated, though, just a little bit. He did some really, really big things at North Dakota State in FCS, and Colorado plays them week 1. Colorado's 7.5-point favorites right now telling you what, they play them on a Thursday night in Boulder. Colorado better watch out. They'll get beat by North Dakota State. Lane Kiffin all the way down at 14. I thought that was kind of weird. And they start that sentence off with, "Listen, Lane, I know you're reading this, but please don't take this personally." That's not directed at him. That's directed at their fan base and all the people like my podcast partner, Rob Sanders, who constantly blow him. Rob Sanders had him ranked as the number 2 coach in the SEC. No, I mean, he's a good coach. He's a really good offensive mind. Like the way he's using the transfer portal. He's recruiting better. But still, this is probably about right. He simply hasn't won enough big games. Now, to his credit, he's winning the games that he should be winning, which is something that I've said Gamecock coaches have had a problem with for years. This goes back to the Will Muschamp era. They can't win the games they're supposed to be winning. Okay, I would in 2022, I could have taken a loss to Tennessee if they damn beaten Missouri, if they could have beaten Florida. I mean, these teams that they should have been beating. No, I mean, Arkansas. It is what it is. Mike Gundy at number 15. I don't think he gets enough credit. I mean, he's had some longevity, and he's had a couple of bad years. And people are like, oh, they only keep him around there because he's an ex Oklahoma State quarterback. Blah blah blah. But I mean, he's really a really good coach. I mean, he's done, and they are. Matthew says he's a hell of a football coach. Yeah, and his teams are generally fun to watch, and they're adaptable. Normally, when he starts off a season poorly, he gets it turned around. Yeah, Beamer ended Zach Arnett's career. Yeah, old Vin Weasel. If you get blown out by Shane Beamer, I don't know. Well, he didn't get blown out by him, but that was crazy. That game pissed me off. It was a lot closer than it should have been. That damn wide receiver y'all got. Holy shit. Or had. He was good. Dave Doran from NC State, a personal favorite of mine. Number 16, up 9 spots from number 25. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to tell you, he could move up even higher than that. And this is a team that this is one of my dark horse teams to win the ACC this year. He's got a really good quarterback in there, Grayson McCall. Now, Grayson McCall, the transfer from Coastal, really did his best work in 2020, the COVID year, as a freshman. It seemed like he kind of regressed a little bit each year, but people kept lumping Grayson McCall into being a really good quarterback because of what he did in 2020. I don't know that he's a superstar, but I do think that he can definitely he can make some noise there at NC State. So we'll see. They've got he's got some weapons there. Got a good wide receiver. Should have solid lines of scrimmage. We'll see what NC State do. Luke Fickell at number 17 at Wisconsin. Now this guy is down a little bit. Wisconsin underachieved. Well, I don't say they underachieved. They didn't have a very good season last year. They were finished 7-6, which you'll say, well, they had a winning season jackpot. No, Wisconsin used to be a player for the Big Ten title. And that just simply hasn't happened in a long time. Luke Fickell, I think he gets a lot of credit for what he did at Cincinnati, but to that point, those guys on the CBS podcast were saying that, his last 2 recruiting classes were kind of shit. And he kind of left that program in bad shape for the man who took over for him, which would end up being Scott Satterfield, a confirmed liar. So this is probably about right. I think that, I think he has the ability to rise in these rankings. As somebody just commented there that he's flipping the they got a new offensive scout. Yeah, Phil Longo, I think, from UNC, still the offensive coordinator there. Who is their quarterback now? I can't remember. It's Brandy Deep Fried Hot. Okay, somebody that knows about Brandy's. I want to go, but it's going to be hard to do. It's only That's one of those weird places. There's all these weird places that I want to try, but they're all open. Just really the window of opportunity to get into them is kind of hard because some of them are only open like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. How do you spell your PayPal jackpot? It's just Carolina jackpot. I don't know. I'll try to link it here in a second. I want to get into this though, but thank you. I appreciate you. Um, Kirk Ferentz at Iowa is at number 18. He's actually up 12 spots from number 30. Um, but yeah, because they won 10 games last year. But look, every game that they played against legitimate competition, such as a Penn State, such as Michigan, such as Tennessee, they got blown out. And they just absolutely got shut the fuck out. They're terrible. Just absolutely, they're not good. I don't think number 18. I don't think he's deserving of that. Um, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Um, you know, he does not believe in offense. How can you believe? How can you be a college coach and not believe in offense? And then what did they do? Oh, they went and got the quarterback from Northwestern out of the transfer portal. Oh boy, woohoo! Let's add a third digit on the scoreboard for that one. If Iowa ever gets a competent offense, that'd be very good. Yeah. You're not driving to Marietta for a hot dog. Nah, it's probably not going to happen. It's one of those ideas. I get crazy ideas in my head and places I want to try, but it's kind of on bucket list. But like that is a long way for me to go just to do a hot dog review. Uh, so maybe I could make a day of it with my son or something. Go to a Braves game. Florida Gators are going 0-12, says All Sports Super Show. The former Twisted Rooster. If you ever see the All Sports Super Show up, then that is the former Twisted Rooster. He's expanding himself out, and he's going to do and cover all kinds of shit. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Jeff Brom at Louisville, number 19. Yeah, okay, I got it. He was a winner at Western Kentucky. He went 17-9. It says in final 2 seasons at Purdue, and then he won an ACC. Well, he played an ACC championship game at Louisville last year, up 14 spots. They somebody says that plenty of teams catch breaks in their schedule. However, Brom's teams always squeeze every ounce of potential out of themselves. I kind of disagree with that. I mean, I would have think that they should have been able to win that ACC championship game last year against Florida State, given the injuries and stuff that Florida State had. So I don't necessarily agree with they get everything up. Plus, they lost their bowl game too. So it's whatever. I think that's a little bit too high. Mark Stoops at number 20. I'm in agreement with this. Matthew says he's overrated. He is. I mean, stop by the varsity. And varsity's too expensive, Billy. It's not that. It's not that expensive, but it's expensive enough, and it's overrated. Paying for a name there. That's not really a mom and pop place either. Mom and pop is like maybe one or two. Varsity has a whole, like, I don't know, they got 5 or 6 restaurants there in that part of Georgia. Mark Stoops at number 20. I think that's well deserved. You know what I've said. He's done more with less, but I mean he's got to start doing more now with what he's got. Netflix got the rights to WWE and Christmas NFL football now. Yeah, I got rid of Netflix. Pals Dog's better than Varsity. I like Pals. Pals is a spot that not many people in our chat probably have had the pleasure of experiencing, but I'm telling you that sauce burger and those Frenchy fries with the seasoning, the way they use that stuff is just pure sex. Just putting that out there. It's absolutely delicious. Their burger, the regular Powell burger, is meh, but the sauce burger, that I love that. Um, Missouri at number 21, Eli Drinkwitz. You can say what you want. Um, they're going to rank him high because of the season they had last year. He jumped up how many spots? He jumped up 30 spots of number 51 to number 21. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I think he had the perfect storm of some really good defensive backs, a perfect storm of a quarterback who came into his own, and a running back that's kind of like a little engine that could. Um, but yeah, have I tried the steak egg? No. And you'll notice in my food reviews, I don't eat eggs. I don't eat eggs. I just don't. I don't like them. Never have. Don't like the texture. Don't like the smell when they're cooking. Just fuck eggs. Don't like them. So I think that's a little bit much. I think he probably hovers around that 30 mark. Not saying that he's not a good coach, but I've got to see more of him. He did win a conference championship at App State back in 2019, back when he beat the Gamecocks, but that was the Scott Satterfield's players. App State was already set up for success. We're getting our first Rudders in the area this summer. Never been to one. How are they? We have Sheets and Wawa here. I went into a Rudders. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's a place that's got like a yellow and red sign. I went in one in what's that between Hershey and Lebanon, Pennsylvania? Maybe it was where it was. It was late at night, so I don't know. TCU number 22, Sonny Dykes. I can get that. He went down 11 spots. He went to a natty back in 2022. Got blown out, but he did make it. Good offensive mind, but another team that doesn't really play a lot of defense. Had a losing record last year. That's after you make the national championship game. I don't know how the hell you drop down that low. Bellerman's got a mini helmet collection going. Who all do we have? So far, we've got, take it back up here a little bit. We've got Virginia Tech, the Voltards with the Dork Mode helmet, Ole Miss with the powder blue, Kentucky, Arkansas, App State, West Virginia, Rutgers, Minnesota, Utah, and Kansas State. So yeah, we're getting there. I haven't gotten any in a few months, but yeah. And then I'm still saving my bag of Luther Burden potato chips, the old Vienna Red Hot Riplets. Went out of date last year in January, and when we finally beat them, I'm going to eat the Red Hot Riplets. It doesn't matter if Luther Burton is still playing there or not. I'm going to eat them. Yeah. We've got this is going to piss some people off. Josh Heupel, Tennessee, number 23. He actually went down 7 spots from where he was ranked in 2022. What? I don't know. I think to me, that's a little bit of a. And you know how I feel about Tennessee. Y'all know how I feel about Tennessee. But I think that is just a little bit, I don't know. I think that's just a little bit of a slap in the face. I mean, he's brought in some really good players. I don't know that Josh Heupel should be dropped that many spots. I'm starting to warm up to him just a little bit. But I'm trying to log into this PayPal from my laptop and pray that the damn, yes, I'm a human. Pray that the password's right. The password is right. So let's see here. I'm sorry, folks. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use the damn cookies. I'm sorry, gang. I'm on here looking. I haven't gotten on PayPal on my laptop in I don't know how damn long. You don't tell I'm an idiot. Where's the damn? See, it's much easier on. It's much easier on mobile. Okay, hold on. There we go. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's me right there. Well, maybe it's just what. Shit. Maybe it's just my name. It's just my real name. Hold on, guys. I swear, I mean, I feel like a freaking moron. I'm taking up too much time with this. Hold on though, but I mean, if anybody's wanting just to send me a PayPal, I'm more than willing to take money from someone. So hold on, let me put this in the chat. This is what I think it is, and this is not even a real link. There, maybe you can copy that, copy and paste it or something, and maybe I'll come up. So it's actually under Kale Hall. It's not under Carolina Jackpot. I thought it was under Carolina Jackpot. A lot of times in my videos, I'll put it down in the description box. I'll put something that says want to donate to the channel or help the channel out. And I've got in my notes, I've got the link to my PayPal, my Cash App, and my Venmo all in one little form there that I'll just attach to stuff, but I don't have it there. All right, Marcus Freeman at number 24. This is probably about where he needs to be. They've got him up 14 spots. He had a 10-win season last year. Says he didn't have any odd losses to teams like Marshall. Okay, so that's the criteria that we're using right now. I don't know. He picked up Duke's Riley Leonard at quarterback, and he's picked up a couple of good quarterbacks out of the ACC in the transfer portal both seasons that he's come. Yes, Heupel's at number 23. They have him at number 23. But Freeman's probably about fair rank. Matt Campbell, Iowa State, number 25. He's up 10 spots from his 35 spot. If you remember a few years ago, Matt Campbell was like mentioned in anytime there was a search for any big time school, big time job came open, Matt Campbell was always one of the first names on the list. Well, he just decided he was going to stay at Iowa State. I'm sure he could have left and went somewhere else, but he bunkered in and wanted to stay there in Ames, Iowa. Guess what? He's probably stuck there for a while now. They finished up 7-6 last year, but they improved. They were 4-8 in 2022. That's absolutely horrible. They lost to the Taters in that bowl game at 2021. At the end of it, that I guess it was the Cheez-It Bowl. Yeah, he's not. I don't know. I think he's just meh. All right, thank you. Yes, it is. Thank you. Yes, I got the PayPal from you, Joe. He got it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. All right, I'm try to pull up these other coaches' rankings here real quick because Schultz says Matt's overrated. Well, I mean, I think jumping 10 spots from going 4-8 to going 7-6 at a Big 12 school, I don't. Yeah, yeah, one could argue that. You definitely could. This is our top 25 coaches. Where's this other article at? Jackpot. I got if Rob had been here tonight, he'd have this stuff probably. He'd have it set and ready to go. Where it is, right here. All right, Power 4 football coaches. This is 68 through 26, from the bottom to number 26, which is just above where that list ended that we were just looking at a second ago. So it's 68th. That's the last in the Power 4. They got Deshaun Foster from UCLA. Don't even really know him. Of course, that guy, they had to kind of scramble to hire him because Chip Kelly kind of bailed on them in like January, I think it is. Todd says, what makes Georgia's schedule so hard? Well, they play Clemson in the non-conference. I mean, I don't like the Taters at all, but I mean, normally they play Georgia Tech and 3 fruitcakes, 3 tomato cans. It's actually a valid top 25 team that they're playing. So they've got them. They go to Texas. They also go to Ole Miss, and I think they go to Bama. That's pretty damn hard. That's pretty dang hard. And then they play Florida too. Number 67, Syracuse. That's Fran Brown, the former Georgia assistant, taking over there. 66 is Jeff Levy from Mississippi State. So they just put all 3 of the brand new coaches. Matthew, thank you for the super chat. Foster was a running back for the Panthers. Oh, yeah. Correct. All 3 of your brand new coaches there. Which one has the best upside? Which one do you think is the best coach? Which one could Which one could do? Which one could do some things off the rip? Now, I haven't looked at Syracuse's schedule. I know Mississippi State's schedule. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's an SEC schedule, but I don't think it's as tough as some of the others. So I might go with the guy from Syracuse. He's got that kid from Ohio State, the Kyle McCord, who's taking over at quarterback there. I think they kind of outkick their coverage. What do they say when a ugly guy like me marries a decent looking woman or a hot woman? You outkick your coverage. I think he might have outkicked their coverage there, picking up Kyle McCord. Wouldn't have thought that guy would have landed somewhere like Syracuse. Kind of a sexy name. It wasn't terrible. But Jeff Levy, I think, in the long run, will end up being a good head coach in the SEC. Purdue, number 65, Brian Walters, was 4-8 last year. So a lot of their key contributors, it says, have left via the transfer portal. And that's, we saw that happen to South Carolina too. So, Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State, number 64, they had a bad season last year. He's having to kind of clean up a mess there. If you remember, he came in after Herm Edwards. They have some scholarship reductions at Arizona State due to the shit he was doing during COVID. South Carolina's cursed when it comes to schedules. Well, Schultz, here's my thing that I'll tell people that complain about that. If we get better teams that could start winning some damn ball games and winning some ball games they're supposed to, those schedules wouldn't be as difficult. They're SEC schedules. I mean, look at Florida's. I mean, be thankful we're not playing that. Vanderbilt at number 63. That's Clark Lee. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how you know. I mean, you could easily rank him last, and he has, everybody says, well, they got the toughest job in college football, blah, 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 but I mean, James Franklin won there. I mean, but once again, that was years ago. That was before the transfer portal. It was before NIL. And I'll tell that to Tater fans too that tell me, well, Dabo got two natties. That's why he's ranked so high. Look, it is a new day. That era of college football is gone. The one where he won the natties in. Time wise, it's not that long ago. He won the last one in January of 2019. But in terms of how much the game has changed, it's totally different. Um, got Virginia at number 62. Tony Elliott. I don't know. With that, I don't know if he's. I don't know how he's. I don't know. What to think of that one. Um, I don't know what to think of Tony Elliott there at number. He's got a tough. He's gonna have a tough time of it. Um, and people are pointing to the deal with the murders up there, and I mean that is tough. But we could we could I actually say that you could actually use that as a tool to bond that team. He's got some decent quarterback play. Out of two of those younger guys last year, Calandria, I think was the guy's name. There was another kid last name Musket. I mean, they're kind of wild, but if they could, kind of corral that a little bit and stop throwing so many interceptions and errant passes, but um, yeah, we'll see. Bird to Fly says he's got a really good scenario for South Carolina regarding the schedule. He's going to call in on Sunday. Good. Hope to see it. Tony Elliott getting fired after this. Yeah, I don't think it's probably not. I think this Virginia job was probably just a little bit too challenging for Tony Elliott. They can't recruit. Um, it's not a destination school. It probably would have been better served going and taking a non-power five job, seeing how he could have done there, but yeah, he didn't. So he's not. Yeah. Anyway, number 61, they got our boy Deion Sanders. He's number 61. They had him at number 55 last year. So he dropped 6 spots after that shitty 4-8 season. They started off the season 3-1, and then they dropped dropped 7 of their last 8 ball games to finish up 4-8. Lost to Stanford. It came from like 30 points down to beat them. I mean, and they've had all this hoopla in the off season with here's my thing, and then that Cormani McLean kid, Sanders pretty much got rid of him, because he wouldn't go to class. He's acting a fool. I guess being a dickhead. I don't really know exactly all of what he did, but I mean, Cormani McLean's 18 years old. He's a very impressionable young man. I mean, what's he supposed to think when he sees cell phones out at practice? I mean, it's a social media circus. I mean, you don't have a closed door environment there. I mean, it's kind of like you. I don't know. Uh, I don't know. the rumor about him being in the hiding in the bathroom during practice. What was he doing in there? Playing with it? I don't know. I guess we'll know. Maybe he's taking probably just had to take a big steamy deuce. That's all he had to do. Stanford number 60, Troy Taylor. Yeah, they've got a terrible roster. It's just a terrible team. 59, they got Scott Satterfield. He was 3-9 last year. Now, if he can win some games and start recruiting a little bit better, then he's going to rise up. I think Satterfield is a decent coach, but right now he's ranked pretty low, and I mean rightfully so. I mean he's got a hard job ahead of him. Arkansas at number 58, Sam Pittman. Of course, this write up is pretty much echoes what you hear from everybody. While Pittman is a personal favorite of many of our voters as a human being, he's heading in the wrong direction. Dropped 16 spots. 4-8, 1-7 in the SEC. That's pretty rough. 57 like Cal, I got Justin Wilcox. Brent Brennan at Arizona. At number 56, he's a brand new head coach, but he has head coaching experience at San Jose State. Won 2 Mountain West titles there, 7 seasons at San Jose. These other guys that are brand new head coaches have not been head coaches before. Dave Aranda at Baylor's number 55. He fell 27 spots. He was ranked 28th last year. He fell almost as many spots as he was ranked at last year, which is pretty tough. Yeah, he set some high marks for his club. They won the Sugar Bowl back in 2021 and just kind of fell off the map. He was a very good defensive coordinator at LSU. So I think that there's a possibility there that they get it turned around, but we'll see. Georgia Tech got Brent Key at number 54. Now, I think that I'm not going to say he overachieved last year, but I just don't know. I mean, if North Carolina, they were 7-6. They played Georgia really tough, but I mean, North Carolina just absolutely just shitting their shorts in that game there. 2 years in a row losing to Georgia Tech. Miami just absolutely shitting their shorts against Georgia Tech too. Didn't have no business losing to them. So they could have easily finished up 4-8 instead of 6-6, and then we wouldn't be thinking so highly of Brent Key. But as for right now, I guess he's okay for Georgia Tech. I think it's going to take somebody better than that to really get them to that next level they need to be at. Georgia Tech's one of those programs. South Carolina's one of the programs. Georgia Tech's one of those programs. Michigan State's another one of those programs. These are sleeping giants. They're sleeping giants. These teams should be a lot better than they are. Yeah, the UNC fans do suck at talking trash. They didn't even talk trash last year after they beat us, and then they just kind of disappear. Northwestern number 53, Dave Braun. I think this guy may have done one of the best jobs in college football last year. They were 8-5. You remember the whole ding-a-ling car wash scandal, the Pat Fitzgerald, the hazing stuff that, I think he sued Northwestern, and I'm not really sure where that's headed. But, some good things on the horizon at Northwestern. I don't know if y'all know it or not. They're tearing down that old Ryan Field. If you've ever seen that one on TV, that's just the ugliest damn stadium in college football. I mean, it may be, and maybe one of the ugliest that I've ever seen, period. Well, they're tearing it down. They're in the process of that, and they're going to play for a couple of seasons at like a makeshift stadium that they're building on the like on the edge of campus by Lake Michigan, and they're going to play a couple of games. They're either going to play in Soldier Field or they may play one in Wrigley Field, where the Cubs play. Which I know they've played there in the past, and I don't know if anybody has seen this on TV because I haven't seen any of the Northwestern games at Wrigley Field. But there's something to do with the configurations of the stadium that you can only play one way. Like you can only go from the north end zone to the south end zone. And both teams have to do that, and then maybe when the other team punts, like then they have to turn around and be going this way. What route am I running? I'm not on one right now. I'm just kind of helping and fill in some gaps until we get something established. Probably going to be running a new route that's going to be made up of other stops. Sharon Moore, Michigan, number 52. I don't have a problem with this. I mean, he did a really good job last year. He had to fill in a lot for Jim Harbaugh. How many games did Sharon Moore coach? It was like more than half of them at least. We saw him get kind of emotional a couple of times. 3? You sure about that? Seemed like more than that. Boston College, 51, Bill O'Brien. One of the more interesting hires. He's got NFL experience. He was head coach at Penn State at one time. He was an offensive coordinator at Alabama, an extremely nomadic coach in Bill O'Brien. But he takes over the job there, and I think he'll be good at Boston College. Thomas Castellanos, the quarterback they got there, he was kind of fun to watch last year. So I think that they could do some good things. Brent Pry at Virginia Tech, he raises himself up 17 spots from number 67 to number 17. They had a really good season last year. They ended up 7-6. A lot of people high on Tech going into the 2024 season. It's a wait and see thing. But I wasn't impressed with the Brent Pry hire at all. He didn't look like. I mean, after 2022, it looked like it was going to be a terrible hire, and everybody was talking. After 2022 with Shane Beamer, they're like, he's going to go home. He's going to go back to Virginia Tech because that guy's going to get fired in a couple of years, and y'all are going to lose Beamer. And everybody's like, no, we're not. We're not going to lose Beamer. Right now, some of us probably begging him to take him, but. As for right now, I guess he's where he's at, and Brent Pry, his stock is rising, and Shane's is falling a little bit, as we'll see here in just a second. Got Kalani Sitake, BYU at number 49. He fell a little bit. They had a bad season last year. Matt Duke at Manny Diaz at number. To me, does the name Manny Diaz? I don't know. It just doesn't fit at Duke. To me, I don't know, but then again, I didn't think it fit at Penn State. So, Virginia Tech hates South Carolina because of Beamer. Why? I mean, why? Okay. If they're jealous, I mean, then they got some issues. Florida, Billy Napier's at number 47. He fell 4 spots. I think they're just a little bit disorganized there. He's done decent in the transfer portal. Oh, because of him, the recruiting. Yeah, that is true. They are pulling a lot of players there from that area. Maryland recruits that area too, and he's absolutely stuffed that guy into a locker. That Mike Loxley, we'll see him on this list. That's another coach I don't particularly care for. I think I'm not going to say he's overrated because he's been 7-5 at Maryland the past 3 years. Uncle Lou put him as his last place coach in the Big Ten. I think he might have been, or if he wasn't last place, he was pretty dang close to it. And I'm like, Loxley, really? He's like, he's 7-5 the past 3 years. All he's done is make a bowl game. Well, I mean, he's been playing in the Big Ten East. He's in the Big Ten East. He's been playing Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State. That's who he's losing to. And some of them he's been playing pretty close. Yeah, but where are the other two losses coming from? I'm just like, okay. Shane is at number 46. I feel like this is right for him. Schultz says it could be worse. It could. He could be in the 50s somewhere. You know, I'm halfway halfway surprised he's not up there with Sam Pittman, but he's still riding a little bit from that 8-5 season the year before. He's overachieved 2 out of the 3 years. SMU number 45, Rhett Lashley. Um, Good team offensively. They don't play a lick of defense. I was kind of wanting to call them a dark horse, no pun intended, Mustangs, for the ACC title going in their first year. And I think they could give some teams some fits, but I just don't know that they have the depth or the defense to compete with some of the big boys in the ACC. Now, their schedule, they do avoid Clemson. They do have to play Florida State, though, but that's a game at home. And that's a game Florida State could lose. Texas Tech, number 44, Joey McGuire. That's a strange program. It's just, it's I don't know. It's strange to hardly ever get a real beat on Texas Tech. But yeah, he's fairly well thought of, though. Number 43, they got Kurt Signetti at Indiana. This guy's 62. He's been the coach at Elon, James Madison, and somewhere else called IUP. I don't know what that is. What is that, incarnate word? I don't know. But he's 119 and 35. So that's why he's ranked so highly. Watch out for Indiana in 2024. I think they had Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Thank you. Oh, yeah, they play East Stroudsburg University. That's near where we go on vacation. West Virginia 42, Neil Brown. His stock rose a little bit last year. They had a surprisingly good season. Everybody had them pegged to finish 3-9, but they really couldn't tell us why. All he did was go out and go 9-4, beat the shit out of North Carolina in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Maryland 41, Mike Loxley. I think this is accurate. 8-5 last year. He's been 7-5 consistently in a bowl game. Now we'll see what they can do. I don't know. He may kind of struggle with Tua's younger brother gone, but we'll have to see. Greg Schiano at Rutgers. Harry Legg says Muschamp won a lot of games. Well, I mean, what? When? I mean, he had a 9-win season in 2017. He overachieved that year. 2018, he won 7 games. And 2019, he won 4 games. And then the next year, he won. I think he won 2 games. He was awful. Let's just that dead horse has been buried years ago. Greg Schiano at Rutgers, number 40. I think Greg Schiano is a good coach. Rutgers is not an easy job. He finished up 7-6 last year, beat the absolute soul out of Miami in that bowl game. Well, bowl games don't matter. Jackpot, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he had Rutgers ranked like in the top 5 back in like 2006, 2007, and then he ended up, I think, going to Tampa Bay. Things didn't work out there. Ended back up in college, coaching at where was it? He was at Ohio State. He was on the staff at Ohio State. Ends back up at Rutgers, and he's doing a really good job. Tennessee could have had him, but they didn't want to. They wanted to riot and throw things and act like a bunch of spoiled, petulant children. Greg Schiano, or PJ Fleck at number 39. This is another guy that was a really hot name at one time, but that now that he's kind of started losing at Minnesota a little bit. from 2019 to 2022. They were 29-10. They were 6-7 last year. He's dropped 15 spots from number 24 to number 39. This is another guy that was thought of really highly in terms of coaching searches and people, talking about their next head coach, and the next hot name was PJ Fleck. Then I noticed when he started losing a few games, all everybody wanted to do was talk about how weird he was. He he's got some weird tendencies, like I don't know, like he plays some weird games with him or something. I'm not going to say he's fruity or anything, but I don't know. It's just kind of strange. Pat Narduzzi, we'll move on from that at Pitt at number 38. I don't know. He dropped down a little bit. Pitt had a bad season last year, rowing the boat. Yeah, I think Narduzzi's a better coach than 38th. I would put him in the low 30s somewhere. Um, 3-9 last year. And he loses a lot of people to the transfer portal as well. So that's probably accurate, I guess. Mac Brown at number 37. Mac Brown is he's just finishing his career out. He's 38-27 at North Carolina this time around. Says the stock's dropping every year. I don't look for him to be around come North Carolina, if they join a new conference, 2025. I'll say Matt Brown. I don't see being the coach there any longer. Brett Bielema at number 36. He was at number 50, number 21 a couple years ago. They had a really good 2022 season, and they fell back last year to 5-7. Good defense, usually strong running game. Can't throw the ball a lick. I don't know, just a wet fart of a program. Miami at number 35, Mario Cristobal's. I have a feeling they think he should be higher on this list, but I mean, just really, really poor, really poor in-game coaching there from Mario Cristobal's. Says Rutgers avoids Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, and Oregon. Yeah, they play USC and UCLA, I think. That's gonna be interesting. They play Washington. I know Washington's probably going to be down a little bit. Brent Venables at number 34. I think he may be a little bit too high. He was 6-7 that first season, but he did go 10-3 last year. So his stock improved 18 points with that jump. Is he a good coach? Or was that just a conglomeration of a lot of talent coming together at one time? We'll see. Hugh Freeze at number 33. I think he has potential to really move up. Mike Elko at number 32. I think this one, one source had, two of those guys on the Cover 3 podcast ranked Dabo as their number 2 coach. It's absolutely insane. It's nuts. This fucker went 8-4 last year. And I know that he had this huge turnaround after the Tyler from Spartanburg incident and, his culture. And I know that he's won a couple of national titles. Well, Matt Brown won a national title too. Nobody's giving him any credit for that. And like I said, it might as well. It's the difference between college football when he was winning national titles and when he and right now, it's the difference. It's night and day. It's color TV and black and white TV. It's totally different. But Mike Elko at number 32, I mean, what the hell has he done? He won 16 games over 2 seasons at Duke. Yeah, well, Duke's, I mean, he had a really good quarterback. He had a couple of good skill players. Number 32, I don't know about. Uh, he's another one we'll have to wait and see on. Jed Fish at Washington, number 31. I don't have a problem with this. He's a really good coach. I mean, Arizona was an absolute shithole of a program. When he took over, they were winless, I think, in 2021. And last year, I mean, he really turned that thing around 10-3. He's improved his stock 30 points from number 61. So I have a problem with Jed Fish there at number 31. Wake Forest, Dave Clawson at number 30. I think Clawson's a good coach. Transfer portal hurts him in that his good players, they're going to get picked off and end up going to bigger and better programs, and that he's going to have to go searching for players from the Marshalls and the Old Dominions of the world. So he's kind of in an unenviable situation right now. He actually fell 15 spots. Went 4-8 last year. He lost Sam Hartman. He's got to have himself eat some decent recruiting classes and get some game changers in there and hold on to them. It's another school it's a tough school academically. So Dave Clawson at number 30. I'd hate to see that guy end up getting run off, or well, I don't think he'll run you off from Wake Forest. If anything, that's another one right there that was on the list. I know he was interviewed. That's another guy that South Carolina passed on. I can't for the life of me understand. I don't know. I'm not an athletic director. I'm not in that position, but it seems like it would have been a good hire. Matt Rule at Nebraska, number 29. He was 2-10 his first year at Baylor a few years ago, and then he turned that around. He's 5-7 at Nebraska last year. My only beef with Rule is he's using Marcus Satterfield for an offensive coordinator, and that Dylan Raiola that Matthew just brought up at quarterback next year. That'll probably be starting. Don't let Satterfield ruin this guy. I mean, he should be on an extremely short leash there too. I don't. How the hell this guy got a Power 5 job after that damn debacle that was the 2022 season at South Carolina? I don't get, but we'll see. Gus Malzahn, UCF at number 28. I think he's a good coach. 6-7 last year, but it was their first season as a Power 4 coach. Gus Malzahn's a good coach too. He's going to recruit the transfer portal really well as also, and too. Michigan State, Jonathan Smith at number 27. That may be a little bit high. I mean, he had some fun and did some good things at Oregon State, but it was Oregon State. That was his alma mater. The only place I could go was up. But having him at number 27 right now, I think may be inflating expectations a little bit right now. Michigan State doesn't have a good roster. Now, he'll bring in some of his Oregon people or his Oregon State people. I think he already has. But we'll see. I think Jonathan Smith might be a little bit overhyped. And then Willie Fritz at Houston, number 26. I don't have a problem with this. He was really good at Tulane, if you guys will remember. Has no Power 5 experience, so it's kind of crazy to see him this high. But Tulane being 23-4 the last couple of seasons, beat USC last year. I ain't mad about it. They like the transfer quarterback he brought in, Aiden Childs. Okay, where'd he come from? Was he from Oregon State or no? I can't stop playing with Pug. I like Pug. Anyway, I wanted to show y'all. It's I can't get to it tonight. I don't feel like messing with it. But I remember if anybody saw the big Bud Light neon sign with all the NFL teams on it that I had, um, probably a month or two ago, that I'd gotten from an antique store for $40. Well, the neon was broken on it, and the transformers didn't work. So I took it to a sign shop in Spartanburg, and they put all new neon in there and charged me one price for that. And then I went turn it on, and it's just sitting here blinking. He's like, "Oh, they must not have done the transformers." I'm like, "Okay, well, transformers wasn't working. They need to be replaced too." So they fixed. They went back and fixed the transformers. And ended up charging me for them too, but they didn't charge me for the labor. And I'm like, "Motherfuckers, y'all shouldn't charge me for them, period, because you quoted me one damn price and you didn't." But I ended up paying it anyway. I've got that sign. If anybody wants to go to the Greenville, South Carolina Craigslist, um, the Greenville, South Carolina Craigslist spot, um, and take a look at that, I have it for sale. It's $800 if anybody wants to buy it. It is big. It's like 4 feet wide, and I think it's like 2 feet tall. It's from 2011, so it's not super rare, but I mean, somebody's got one listed on eBay, brand new in the box, for $1,750. Yeah. Yes, it's a Bud Light sign. Let me hear the jokes. Okay, that's outdated as fuck. But anyway, it's Bud Light. I don't know. I don't like Bud Light. I don't drink it. I just bought it because it had the NFL teams on it. I would have bought it if it said Guinness on it. So, um, it's also for sale on Facebook Marketplace. I've only gotten one person to actually save it or whatever, is like they like it or whatever. So I'm thinking it may be. Yes, it's all fixed. Everything in it's fixed. The neon in it is brand new, and it lights up. And the both the transformers on the back are new. One of them, you I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna show it on the show Sunday night. I'll have it ready to go. It's in my living room right now, and it's kind of tucked away in between our TV hutch and the desk beside it, so that my dogs can't get around it. But I will bring it out to the show on Sunday night, and I'll plug it in and light it up, because it's pretty cool. It's a nice sign, and if you look on that Craigslist listing, it's listed under antiques and collectibles in the Greenville, South Carolina Craigslist. Um, yeah, shopping at local. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I went just happened to find it at an antique store in Tryon, North Carolina. Yeah, so I put a lot of money into it, and I would like to get. That's why I'm pricing it at $800. And I'm not going to probably move off that until I get a decent offer for it. So that's just how it is. And I don't want to put it on eBay because, like, they'll have to pay me for shipping. And I don't know. I've never done eBay before. And I don't know. It's probably a damn hair raising experience, but maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, guys, Jackpot's going to get out of here. We've had a long show tonight. We've went almost 80 minutes, which is just a little bit shy of an hour and a half. I've really enjoyed this college football talk with you guys tonight. We should do it like this more often. Um, how much money would I make back on it? About 300. No, $400. Yeah, so that's how it costs a little bit to put that there. But if anybody is interested in it and they actually wanted to buy it, I have the receipts from where I got the neon fixed and where I done the transformers, to show as proof that, hey, these are brand new. You know, they're receipts and they have dates on them, so they'll know that all that stuff's brand new. Anyway, guys, I've enjoyed hanging out with you all tonight. Thanks for everybody who got over here. Thanks for the super chats, the PayPal donations. I really do appreciate that. And I'll talk to you guys later on. Peace, and I'm out of here. Go Gamecocks. Woo!